So hello and welcome to Miss Steward's room. This is your introduction video for where is everything and how does it work. So I'm just going to walk along the edges of the classroom here and give you some tips on where to find things. So for example, we have all of the necessary glassware for any given lab, and if you need anything, you're welcome to it. Then at the end of this row, we start with my method for how to deal with spills and cleanup. So we have a very large number of rags, and there are no paper towels in the classroom. So the way this works is the students use whatever rag they need to clean up whatever they need to clean up, and walk on over, and they have an area under the sink over here, which is where the laundry goes. Every month or so, I pack up grocery bags full of the towels, and students get one stamp on their homework stamp sheet for doing a full bag worth of laundry. So, moving on, going back over here, we have the microwave and toaster. Students are welcome to use these usually during advisory or lunch. It's better not to use them during class because usually the food smells good and distracts everyone. Then we have my lovely TA Shauna over here. I will be giving her lots of keys so she can help you with grading and things. And this lovely set of cabinets right here, we have top shelf is any random assignment that students turn in late and you are still going to accept it if you want to. The middle shelf is we've graded it but have not entered it into the grade book yet. And the bottom shelf is we have both graded it and put it in, and it's ready to be returned to the students. The refrigerator is free for your use. Please feel free to take advantage of it. The sink and dish rack, students during advisory often eat food and they need to clean up their own dishes. So here is our lovely rack full of dishes that have recently been washed. Oftentimes they like to eat ramen, hence all the bowls. So you'll usually find students eating the ramen and they know where to find it. Moving right along, inside our cabinet, the first whiteboard is full of materials for labs, and the most common thing students need are various Ziploc bags on the top shelf. Then in the second cabinet, we have all the chemicals and necessary equipment for any given lab. So as I go through and have separate videos describing each lab, I'll be able to show you the exact materials you need, but in case anybody's looking, there you go. Over here at my desk, the very last drawer by the sink, you will find all necessary kinds of forms. Detention slips, slips for inviting students to advisory, deposit slips if you're going to get money deposited. I don't think you have to worry about that. All of my Scantrons for the final, so you can use those. And hall passes if you want to send somebody and not expect them to return with the actual class hall pass. Speaking of which, the class hall pass is over here. So this is the sign out slip where they write down their name, where they're going, and what time they left. And somewhere along the counter is where they usually drop the pass. I try to get them to drop it on the clipboard. That doesn't always work. Okay, back to the cabinets. We also have a cabinet full of every possible art supply material you could possibly need. You are welcome to these. Please try to get them to return them in decent condition. If you need things such as tape, You'll find those in the drawer underneath the whiteboard, as well as extra overhead markers. And the last cabinet is my advisory favorite. This is the cabinet full of food. Advisory is welcome to come on in here and get food as they need it or as they like it. And randomly, other teachers will come in and ask you for videos on any given topic. That's my full science collection. So you are welcome to use those if it's a particularly bad day for some reason. This is my desk. I keep all my random stuff on it. You are welcome to do the same. The students know that they are not supposed to touch that desk. The file cabinet has extra copies of various worksheets, and it should all be in subject area order. The students are welcome to use the staplers, hole punchers, all of this as they need. They should know better than to use the pencil sharpener while you're talking. So I tell them sharpen their pencils somewhere else because I hate that sound. That's up to you. Then we come down here and you find where each of the class periods turn in their assignments. So whenever you're collecting either tests or really anything that you want to collect and grade, they should go in the class bin. The students are very used to doing that. We have a secondary microwave students are welcome to use. They should understand how to use a recycling bin. Oftentimes I will still find chip wrappers or random stuff in there, but hopefully you won't have as much trouble with that. So that's a little tour of the classroom. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. As far as the equipment you have to use, I will be leaving you a laptop. It's not there right now, but I'll be leaving a laptop right here on this counter. And the overhead is commonly used in the room. When you're doing movies or something, you can just put the projector on top of the overhead and it ends up projecting nicely onto the screen in a large enough view. The speakers are also right here. They'll be plugged into the laptop for you. Every once in a while, things seem to strangely not have power. That's because this little plug right here decides that it turns off. So there are little buttons and you just push them and they click back on and all of a sudden everything works again. So if you have a mystery power outage, that is the culprit. If your overhead bulb blows out, you'll need to talk to Mr. Lee in room P7 to help you with that. The textbooks, if the students are doing work during class in pairs, the textbooks are up here in the front. And I do request that they return them to the front when they're done. Any spare paper you might need for the printer, or if you need students to use paper for an assignment, it's all down here. You're welcome to use as much as you need. If you need extra cleaning products, whether it be hand soap or otherwise, they are hiding in this cabinet. So that should be helpful. And last but not least, we also have all of the microscopes in the class cabinet, where we also have a set of whiteboards. So those purple guys up top, if you want, you can pull them out and students can work in pairs and write their answers on the whiteboard and then, show them to the class. That's always fun. So the microscopes are expected to be returned neatly to their shelves. And there's plenty of plugs around the room that you can use for that particular lab. I usually put the microscopes along the side walls, and then one at the back of each table where there is also a plug, and that spreads everybody out pretty darn well. This is the Brita, where we regularly fill it and filter water for ourselves. Students can use this as they need, whenever they like. The rolly chairs are around the room. First come, first serve. No one is allowed to claim a rolly chair. It's whoever gets there first. And as a reward system, if you see students doing things well, here is my roll of tickets. And you give them a ticket if they answer a question correctly, if you see them being particularly kind to another human being, perhaps if you ask them to get started on working during a classwork assignment and everybody's kind of like dragging their feet about starting, start giving tickets out to the people who are working, and everyone starts working soon after that. The other discipline system items are the yellow cards. Yellow cards are for when the students have done something minor, like they came to class late, or a small infraction that gives them a warning. The red cards are for more egregious errors, like cursing at another student, or using their headphones in class, or texting in class. And so what I do is I write their names down, and I put the cards in the little pocket folder to remind myself who has a red card. 2 yellow cards equal a lunch detention. 1 red card equals a lunch detention. During those detentions, the students can clean out the sinks, because oftentimes you will see that people have left little schmutzies and gross stuff, so they can clean out the sink. Or if there are dishes to be done, you are welcome to have them do the dishes, and they know that that's an expectation. I think that's the full description of the room. Good luck and enjoy.